Senna first pick, okay.
If you are Mad Lions, Juanito locked in for GIANTX. I like what I saw. Also, like 2018, yeah, 2017.
So we see the Karma come up. Karma was banned in that entirety of the last series. It's probably not Senna Karma, which is why you see the Ornn here potentially being flashed. It'll be the Cassante instead. I'm not sure we're gonna see any more of the Ornn Senna lanes now that we don't get the double support items any longer. But I could be wrong. Could happen at this game. I have no idea what the drafts are.
Be a very powerful mid-jungle duo if they want to try and find advantages early. Akali was something that we did.
Karma's the triple flex though. Misfortune. Oh my god, we haven't seen Misfortune in forever.
I'm still thinking about whale sharks. I'm gonna be honest.
Trying to bully the Senna in lane. There's the Nautilus and Gwen counterpick into Cassante. Alistair for full engage onto the Senna in the bot lane. So pretty aggressive in terms of kill potential. Honestly, not a lot of great synergy for Sejuani and ganks, though. You know? Honestly, not a lot of synergy in ganks. What if they paid me a real wage? There's no point because the career doesn't go anywhere, guys. You basically just become the soundtrack to co-streamers at this point in time, and there's no way to like advance, and you're perpetually on like year-to-year contracts. I'd much rather own my own company where I can make equivalent, if not more money, and that way I'm actually owning something. And why would I just go be Riot's bitch until the end of time? Dancing, you know, on treading on eggshells, right? The Sejuani feels weird here because there's just not synergy with actually getting stuns off of Sejuani E.
Of course, the support. A lot of support so far this split from Mad Lions.
Like maybe if you get the Alistair engage on the bot side. Norway's best. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. My grandfather was a Norwegian immigrant. My middle name is Shell. My last name is also Norwegian. So I appreciate you. You're not Norway's best, though. That's me.
Well, I've told the jury you wouldn't use any of your three best.
How do you think Mark Z got his position as commissioner? Well, I mean, he's not really a commissioner, number one. He's not even his job title internally is like product lead. He's not a commissioner. He doesn't have that level of authority.
Because if it's poisoned, you throw in your.
He's a figurehead, guys.
Koi gang wars happening here. The Koi and the Carp are fighting. It's like a West Side Story all over again.
He doesn't have the powers that a commissioner would have in a sports league, or the powers that I had as commissioner when I was working with Flashpoint, where I was the authority of the league.
Both going to start towards the top side of the map and path towards bot. Now, of course, you do have a few options. You can, of course, skip your top side camp. Some people will do that red into like bot side and then path back up towards. Some will start on.
He's got like 10 people above him in the chain of command. He can't even make decisions about LCS.
We'll look at how this early priority could also influence potential invades. You see some deep vision already invested from the side of Mad Lions Koi onto their blue buff, so they're going to recognize when Peach is in the area. But
I think he's done a good job with the power that he has in terms of making the product better. Don't get me wrong, but he can't fix LCS.
Push that they have in mid as well. Karma has a huge amount of wave clear in the early game, and can really push her opponents around. So let's see what Elyoya decides to do. Is the level 2 going to come through very, very soon from Mad Lions Koi's bot lane? The level 3 also going to be secured for Elyoya.
And Peach about half a camp behind in terms of jungle clear. Importantly, Ignar has gone Glacial Augment on the...
Yeah, what's going on this bot side?
I like playing Brand in Platinum.
Well,
I mean, Alistair sucks at level 1. That's part of the problem. So you just get zoned off the wave at level 1. Right? And you get 0 CS, and you get hooked. So you try and trade favorably, but you're playing Alistair, so after he presses Q, you can't do anything else. There's sustain in Mad's bot lane. So you get zoned off the whole wave, get 0 CS. Feels bad. So you're basically hoping that somewhere between level 3 and 6 that you're going to have an effective gank.
behind in terms of jungle clear. Importantly, Ignar has gone Glacial Augment on the Alistar, means he won't be that tanky early game. You really have to wait until you get your Unbreakable Will before you are that big tanky cow. The Glacial Augment helps you in slowing your opponents, reducing damage, but not like an Aftershock where you can go in and just tank for days. So if a fight does erupt around that blue buff, as it might with Elioya
Third wave crash.
and Super first to move, big minion wave.
He's literally 0 CS.
Stacked up here as well. Patrick and Ignar need to deal with that. Patrick still in
Ignar's a very good Alistar player. It's probably his best champ in his history of playing the game. Now we just have an invade because they have no pressure, and there's absolutely no way their bot lane can miss this wave, so Peach gets pushed out of the jungle. So free for Mad Lions playing around this early game Alistar super well.
And all of this comes off the back of that early ward that was dropped onto the blue buff, recognizing the Peach choosing not to start on this side of the map gives Elioya a clear advantage in the jungle where he can now secure 2 camps. And GIANTX can't afford to do anything about it. That would be a lot of farm lost for both Patrick and Ignar, and it's debatable if they would even win out on the straight up 3 versus 3. So they choose not to go for it. And now this wave is in a bit of an awkward spot because they know that Elioya is hovering around the bot side of the map. Their jungler is nowhere near them right now. And if they overstep, there's a real opportunity for Mad Lions to win, especially with the level advantage that they have over Patrick right now.
So Peach is coming down towards this bottom side of the map, but he'll spot that the Scuttle Crab's been taken. Elioya is going across towards his red and his Krugs. Peach hasn't.
You hate Sejuani if you don't have your synergy. Why not take Rel? Yeah, I agree. It's the draft turned out really weird for Sejuani.
Doesn't spot the red, so Elioya should be able to take it before Peach gets there. Now Peach has to
close though.
Chase on with Vault Breaker. Elioya decides against it, doesn't need to go any further.
You don't have Prio there on the bot side, a little bit dangerous.
But that presence does alleviate pressure from the bot side of the map. This means that Patrick and Ignar can actually get this push in underneath the tower. And they don't
MF still 2 waves down, especially after this wave hits. That was a pretty huge CS denial on the bot side.
Being gained for this Mad Lions bot lane. They're going to tick over to level 4 very, very soon. Got the wave in such a nice spot, so now even without the presence of Elioya,
this is going so well for the Mad Lions bot lane.
And comfortable while their jungler will clear the top side of the map, and now you start to like shift this focus up towards the top side because now you're all like, oh, okay, Merwin, Nodoame, how concerned are they about any potential ganks, knowing that the
hook the minion.
To be on that side.
See Patrick and Ignar hit.
Nice route. Ward and brush. Yeah, this counter pick is not working. Elioya is also just too good. I mean, the way Elioya calls the early game has been very good for Mad Lions, and you can see it here. Like, they're just playing around him, and they're using their strengths in the laning phase to, like, get pretty good cascading advantages on the map. He used Ghost. Okay, he's dead.
Pop the Ghost. No flash on him. Elioya, Vault Breaker, Pathmaker out, pulls him under.
Oh, he's not dead. Nicely done.
Wave's gonna get shoved in. Odo will have to TP back in here.
Good use of the Unbreakable.
Peach is on the bot side.
Or Unstoppable, rather.
Elioya to go towards the grub. So my expectation is that Peach should cross-map this for the dragon. Ideally, you want to trade these objectives.
What does the Alistar do well for them in the later besides a different pick? Well, it provides extremely reliable engage or follow-up engage to Sejuani. Backline access also allows you to get rid of the Gwen. It's pretty nice.
You can see Alvaro realizes that's still a possibility, walks across, pings over on the dragon, and now can step into that river to make sure that Peach is not trying to take it away.
The Gwen is incredibly scary, though. With the speed up from Karma. Like, that is really terrifying. And the heals coming in from Senna. Woo, that Gwen. Also, you get the counter matchup in lane. Feels super good.
Do you think it's fitting that a player called Peach plays for a team called Giant? No, we just need a player called James as well. And there will be... You have James and the Giant X Peach.
How does your brain work?
This is jet lag brain, man, right now.
That actually is a good joke. That's a good joke for Medic.
He's got the wrong story in his head. He's going to make a fool of himself. And then you brought it all together.
James the Giant X Peach. That's actually super funny.
Well, the dragon is up.
Yeah, Merwin is a Gwen abuser. Yeah, he definitely has been a Gwenner.
And with this wave slowly pushing back in the favor of Mad Lions Koi, they should be able to set up for it. Given that Frescowi should maintain control over this mid wave, it has invested the TP now. The first bases have been completed.
Alistar is the worst engaged support in the Senate because of her E. Doesn't matter once you have ult, though.
Just going to clear out the vision. Peach forced away from this topside scuttle crab, and across the board, this is a great start for
you're not going to get rooted. Even if you get rooted as you're coming in with W, it doesn't actually proc until you're able to press, you know, hit R. So, and you also will get your engage off. You know, if you're in range to hit WQ, the root isn't going to stop you. Why aren't more people picking Karma into his ear? Because it's banned. It's banned, 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 banned.
I mean, everyone's experienced that late game multi-man.
Oh, the stealth. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
We don't want to underestimate the value of that damage, but it's all about whether
I misunderstood. My bad.
plant your feet. You've got to make sure that the spacing is good, and your CC's got to connect. And there is definitely some great setup. Patrick in a bit of danger there for Alvaro. Oh,
He's going forward. We'll look for the stun here onto Alvaro. You can see Peach on his way as well. Alvaro flashes the Glacial Prison. Super caught up in the slow, but able to escape. Ignite is low here. Does still have the flash, but Super flashes forward. Counter flash from Ignite. Elioya now on his way to join the fray. Patrick has a flash of his own if he needs to invest it, and will do so wisely. As Elioya steps into this counter flash here onto Alvaro. You can see Peach on his way as well. Alvaro flashes the Glacial Prison. Super caught up in the slow, but able to escape. Ignite is low here. Does still have the flash, but Super flashes forward. Counter flash from Ignite. Elioya now on his way to join the fray. Patrick
Not worth for Super to flash there.
if he needs to invest it, and will do so wisely. As Elioya steps into this.
We'll see, actually.
Frescowi's moved his way across. Peach using the Grump as a bit of a body block.
Nice job by Peach to block that.
Patrick, no flash on him. Remember, as Frescowi's going to get stunned.
Nice knock up from Ignar. Oh my god, the Senna ult. So clutch. Force a flash from Peach too. Nice. Good follow-up from Frescovi and Elioya.
Punishing the all-in from Ignar and responding well to the potential gank from Peach. Super, the only reason why he had to burn his flash was because he saw a kill opportunity onto Ignar.
Super shouldn't have flashed there.
And, I mean,
It's whatever though. Super does, I think, play a little overly aggressive at times.
the root coming out from the center, that is what Patrick was forced to flash away from. And that's what he was so concerned about. And so to this point, you'll see he feels like, oh, I don't need to flash, but there, that root, that's what he has to flash away. He realizes if it connects, he's going to lose his life. And then just really great positioning from the mid jungler here from Mad Lions, already on the move towards the bot side of the map. That continued push that Frescowi have, making it so much easier for him to rotate down. And just a great demonstration of how Mad Lions Koi are using their priority very, very well. First Dragon should go in favor of Mad Lions.
Yeah, Elioya's calling really does help Mad Lions have good team play. I think that by having so many new players that they're able to set a dynamic in the team where Elioya just has absolute authority to control all the rookies, which means they follow his calls, and he's a very good early game planner, and so it's really working for them. They have a unity of purpose, you know what I mean? Which is nice to see.
It reminds me of it's Timon and Pumbaa, right? The grub that they have.
Yes.
And it's crazy how delicious those insects looked in that movie.
Insects are eaten in a lot of the world. Very good source of protein, Betty.
That's good. That's
Shouldn't
what my
look
mother
down your
always
nose
said.
at insects unless they're on the floor, in which case you do have to look down your nose to see them.
Thank you.
They're the grubs.
Educational.
Gonna get taken.
Yeah, so they're foregoing the dragon. Mad Lions Koi's priority is on this top side of the map. The beauty of having so much push in the other game is you get
Man, now you're just gonna have 5 to 6 void grubs as well with a split pushing Gwen. This is feels nightmarish.
Now the dragon, can it finally be started by Peach? Nope, he's not gonna gamble it.
Again, it's about prio, right? Like, they don't know Elio's on the grubs, they can assume, but they don't have vision. But Frescowi can always get mid-prio. Super and Alvaro have pushed in the bot lane, so that has to be answered by Patrick and Ignar. And now you're starting up the Drake, but Elioya...
Feels like Faker and T1 with 4 rookies, except Yo-Yo's a jungler. Yeah, that's actually a very good comparison. I think that's a very good comparison. Sometimes you just have to think about the social, and by sometimes I mean you always have to think about the social dynamics of teams and like what, you know, whoa. Somebody hit with a very loud donation. Hold on, I'll read it in a second. All right, I'll read it in a second, guys. Hold up. I want to watch this fight first.
Guarantees equal numbers in while Elioya makes his way over.
Might be caught out. Who's going in? Jackie's tried to land
Scovey flashes Jackie's ult. Patrick taken down to exactly 0 HP. Doesn't even have a chance to ult himself. This bot side was not supposed to go this way. And this bot lane just hasn't been working. Mad Lions has played really, really well around the Alistar.
Eliminating one of the big damage sources right from the get-go makes this fight an easy one for Mad Lions Koi. So far, an incredibly clean game from Mad.
Yeah, they're playing really well.
The early game in terms of their priority, they've controlled the jungle, and they've been able to secure every single neutral objective.
All right, hold on. Let me read this donation. Sloths, thank you. I'd like to say I'm a huge fan of your work at LFN. I'm a linguistics major looking to study abroad in Korea. Do you have any recommendations for non-touristy places to visit? I'd like to experience non-curated Korean culture. Well, I mean, just go out into the boonies, man. Like, you know, go to Daegu or something. Some of the cities that people don't normally go to. I would go to, you know, if you're out here during a good time of year, that's not too hot or too cold, like Soraksan, which is on the East Coast, is a national park of like granite mountains. That's really beautiful. You can take a bus out there from Seoul and you'll have a pretty authentic Korean experience out there. Not a lot of foreign tourists. It'll be August. It might be hot, but you could still do it. You know, in Seoul, too, it's a massive city. Just go to some of the more, like, non-touristy neighborhoods.
We're going to look back at this engage, and it's Frescow who looks...
You know, it's where I lived in Gyeongnidan, which is Noksapyeong Station. It is foreigner friendly, but it's not particularly touristy compared to Itaewon. Right? A lot more local businesses, craft beers, but it is foreigner friendly at the same time. Yeah, Soraksan's good though. Might be a little hot, but you can still have a nice time outside.
Initially, but then as the rest of Giants try to collapse, that is when Mad Lions Koi go for the punish, and it's just a single target.
There's also fun stuff you could do that, like, you know, if you're here in August, you might want to go to Caribbean Bay, which is a massive water park. Which is like a massive water park. Again, it's popular, but it's not necessarily some touristy. You know, locals go there. It's part of Everland. Just like a amusement park, thrill park. But Caribbean Bay is an absolutely huge water park that's very fun. Outside of Seoul. What do you mean foreigner friendly? I mean, like, people speak Inglando. There's like menus that you can read. Although Google Translate is pretty amazing these days with your camera, so it's life in Korea is a lot less difficult than it used to be. I mean, for example, I live in fucking Songdo, which is a part of Incheon, and like if you don't speak some Korean here or read Korean, you would just be giga fucked. Thank you, Ondrox, for your tier 1 sub. Welcome back.
Oh, is it? Yeah, I love his accent.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah. It's got a lot of energy. He also says funny things.
Also, go to the fish markets, man. That's actually a banger recommendation. Go to the Seoul Fish Market. Because basically no tourists go there. And what you do is you walk around and you like pick your fish or your crabs. And then they're all in all these tanks. And then they butcher them for you on the spot. And then they take away the sashimi, which is called hue in Korean, so the raw fish, to a restaurant that's attached, you know, to restaurants that are attached to the fish market. And they will serve you the hue, the raw fish, and you buy like alcohol from them. And if you get like a spider crab or whatever, they'll steam it for you. And at the end of the meal, they prepare a spicy stew with all the like leftover fish parts that's delicious. So you can literally just pick whatever fish you want. And it's really fun to go in there and see the fish markets too. And there won't be tourists in there. So there you go.
Cerix has this way of just going down like 4 different permutations of an idea and giving you the end result, but not showing his working.
It's true.
How he got there.
It's truly a masterclass.
Unfortunately for you, they upgraded the Seoul fish market. The Busan one's bigger, but they upgraded the old one. The old one was like this really janky concrete wet warehouse that was like hilariously scuffed. Now they have a brand new shiny one that I actually haven't been to yet, but you can still go. That's a fun one.
Gold lead for MDK, and GIANTX have looked very lacking so far in terms of ability to do anything on the map.
How long have you been living in Korea? Well, I left for 6 years, and I'm back out for a year as of September. So I was in LA for 6 years. I was in Korea for 5, then LA for 6. Now I'm back for another year.
I mean, you highlighted it in the play, but just the use of the hook to close the gap, to connect the ultimate, to then allow the center to land the root, to then have the damage come in from Karma, it was clean. I liked it a lot. Very well done.
And this is the problem for GIANTX as well. As soon as they step up, Elioya's there. Someone's always there to force them away from the tower. The Grub's obviously helping out. Those little Void Mites going to help chip away at this turret, but there's no space for GIANTX on the map. Every time they step into any area of darkness, they're met with 2 or 3 members of MDK. Next up, the Rift Herald, you have to assume, 2.5 minutes on the next Drake, and you can see Alvaro and Elioya just teaming up. They'll path through mid together. At the moment, Super has a lot of protection from that bottom side of the map. You can see the control ward and the couple of extra wards, keeping him safe if he pushes forward. Alvaro now pathing towards bot, deciding that Elioya can do the Rift Herald by himself, it seems.
I mean, they still have control at the top. There is a 0 goal difference. In, well,
it's 12 now.
Okay, yes, there's 12.
26. Kanik Rukun has turned this.
It's been 7 years since my last stint in Korea. Dude, I left in April of 2017.
If I gave you
It's now February of 2024.
I took it away, you wouldn't say that was effectively neutral.
So yeah, it's been a while.
You gave me the 26
Okay,
and then asked for it back.
I worded that poorly.
Haha!
You were technically correct.
Now, the cross map is happening from GIANTX. They will steal away a red buff, which consequentially, Madline's not going to be too upset about. But at the very least, it's something back for GIANTX. They are kind of scaling towards those team fights. They're hoping that they can get a nice 5 versus 5.
Monty OG and Days are good. How can your Twitch ID be ape shit and it not be detected? Are you a wizard? How did you get that username? They just let you have shit in your username?
Like this center is stacking now. What, is that 49 that I see?
49
Apes hit. Oh, okay.
And the Yumu's goes plate complete. The Rift Herald charges in. Elioya's taking his driving lessons. They'll wait for it to walk past the turret before they pick it up to make sure you can drive it into the second one.
Play.
Mike's helping out as well. The root's going to land here onto Peach. The Herald charges in and Peach is locked up. Ignar trying to dive into the back line. Not a lot of damage coming out from Patrick with that bullet time. Odoamne TP's in. Elioya trying to get away from the Cassante. Ghosting forward. Jackie's dashes in as well. Elioya should be able to trade with Cassante here. Can just Vault Breaker away, but the Q3 knocks him back. Alvaro's killing. Jackie's off towards the top side. All the meanwhile, Merwin is just taking towers. Odoamne led them all on a merry chase, but in the end, the rest of MDK are able to collapse. Ignite now ticking onto Elioya. Odoamne trying to trade back. Oh, they can't kill him back. Elioya going back on.
I mean, they have no damage anymore. How would they kill anybody? Jesus. Okay. Well, I guess GIANTX's plan was give Senna, create some sort of Senna kill lane, get counterpick top, and then have no synergy with Sejuani, and then do nothing while losing from level 1.
Absolutely incredible. Merwin looking to get another tower.
Yeah, Mad Lions played this well, man. But it's weird that this was their response to Senna when they didn't do anything.
7K gold lead 17 minutes in.
And a Drake up for them in 2 seconds time. They need to clear out a little bit of this vision, but they are so far ahead. Lockett taking those towers in the top lane. Gets a Haunting Guise and some Ionian boots. And you can see GIANTX don't even really want to play around the Drake. They know that's where MDK are going to be, so they overload the top side to make sure that Jackies can get this push in. Objective Bounty's the name of the game. I'm more of an Objective Snickers sort of man.
They're looking off.
Decent assist onto Patrick, and Merwin comes in from the side. Ignar now running for the hills. Odo's already down. Like Asante nowhere near as tanky as he would be later in the game. MDK have another minion wave pushing in. It's 10-0. It's a 6,000 gold lead, Betty.
Hours, GIANTX. Amount of use to lock it. GIANTX.
This has been such a roll, guys. Such a roll.
Jackie's in a good position. Control ward in the bush means he hasn't been seen as of yet.
There is that one ward around.
Not even close. Game.
GIANTX out of their side of the jungle, and they're just clearing out the vision. If you want to step up, you're going to pay for it.
Onweme is taking damage, even though that magic damage shield's still sitting pretty on him. He's down below half. Super, the Dawning Shadow coming out as Onweme's forced away. Already Patrick down again. That's his 5th death.
Yeah, Chris-san is right.
That's going to be a Baron, I think.
If you have lighter skin, the Koreans are going to treat you a lot better. Like, you know, I've tried to get into clubs, you know, with black people, and that hasn't gone well. You know what I mean? There's still quite a bit of racism.
Rotten to the core, this game from GIANTX as Peach is forced away. At the moment, that pit doing a little bit of work as Peach not gobbled out, but Frescawi will kill him off in the end. Another kill in the books for MDK. The Baron still being done by Super and Merwin. And 21 minutes in, it's a Baron buff.
Koreans low-key racist. I wouldn't call it low-key.
And it is an absolute demolition here in Mad Lions Court.
You know, East Asia... let me put it this way, guys. East Asia as a whole is very homogenous. And a lot of the East Asian countries don't even like each other very much. So, yeah, you know, it can be rough. Yeah, low-key is not the word I would use.
This is very clean stuff, and this is exactly what you want to be seeing from a team after they've spent the week going back to the drawing board and figuring out how they want to change here in the lower bracket of the playoffs.
I think it's also the
No, I like being in Korea, but let's just say I have an easier time than other people, and even I've experienced racism here, guys. So, it's not great. But I think the positive aspects outweigh the negatives, generally speaking, at least in my experience of being in Korea.
Now sinking that wave in the bottom lane. Double Supers on their way. Mid lane wave about to die as only the cannon will survive. Merwin pushes in top. There's the knockup with the depth charge. Patrick forced back underneath his Nexus towers. Ignar forced back down to half HP. That cow getting absolutely boiled by MDK. Onweme tries to step forward. Rooted up, locked up, taken out as he's forced back to the fountain. That's 3 inhibitors and 23 minutes. Jackie is now just absolutely deleted. And the bullet time can buy you a second. But it's Agent Smith winning this one, Patrick. MDK.
Ah, what a stomp, guys. What a stomp. Really well played by Mad Lions, but GIANTX just trying something a little bit experimental and just not having any timing windows to execute it, thanks to how well Super Alvaro and El Yoyo played that early game. Super clean. Very, very nice.